Ah! Got me sick.
And we are back for another episode of Dead Last Cycling. This week's race was actually brutal, and I think by the end of it, I must have said the phrase "oh my god" about 15 times. Brutal primarily because of the route. BRAEk-fast Crits and Grits, which has, count 'em, 8 short, sharp, violent, punchy climbs, 2 steady drags, and then of course 2 ascents of Sgurr South thrown in just for a bit of extra fun. And don't get me wrong, it is a fun course, but I picture whoever designed it sat laughing manically like a Bond villain every time Zwift decides to put us on it.
Oh, I thought I was warmed up. This feels horrible.
Just over a minute in, and my legs were already sending out distress signals. The thing with Sgurr South is it's really 2 violent kickers with a brief draftable reprieve in the middle, and you have to ride the kicks hard or you'll get no break in the middle section. This sort of climb right at the start of the race is tough because it asks you straight away, how bad do you really want it?
Oh my god. It's a different kind of pain. Oh, we made it. Oh, we made it. Oh my god. Oh, my legs like jelly already.
Legs like jelly, lungs on fire, and this, if you believe it, is just from the lead-in.
Very strung out. Be interested to see if it breaks apart. This is a very big group, 84. I missed the Monday one because of work. Kind of figured this to be a smaller group, but maybe Tuesday's where it's at now for these races.
I don't know whether this time slot is always busy, or if the return of English winter had enticed more people back inside, but if it's going to regularly have this many riders in it, I'll probably be making it my regular race for the next month or two. The big challenge of today's race is the constant full-on effort with the lack of recovery. In most Zwift routes, you get your hard selections, but you'll get plenty of recovery in between. Today, it was pretty much never flat.
Now we got this uphill drag. Horrible, horrible, horrible. Why couldn't we have had another flat sprint again, eh? We gotta try to stay as efficient as possible here. I'll be honest, I'm expecting to get dropped at some point.
With a course this hard, and it being only my second race in Cat B, with my first one being, let's face it, a bit on the Mickey Mouse side as far as the route was concerned, I was expecting that at some point I might have to let go of the group, especially with how many people had clearly come to put in a serious effort. As always, I did have my delusions that maybe I could hang on and make something happen, and either way, the longer you hang on in a race, the better your finishing time, the better you do on GC, and the better you do in ZRS, so I wasn't going to go down without a fight.
I might stand on this one.
I decided to get out of the saddle here to try and vary the muscle strain, but I don't know if it's just that I need to train standing more, but for me, it always ends up feeling more taxing than just banging out the same wattage in the saddle.
Oh my god. I never know if standing is a mistake or not. Like, it uses slightly different muscles, but I'm always like blown up afterwards.
Perhaps I should give it a rest in races until I've had more chance to practice it. I didn't have time to lament my mistake for very long because almost immediately it was time for another kicker. I was hurting and on the limit already, but so far I've been able to keep myself in good position.
Yeah, this is the Cat B I was expecting. Brutal, my water's going everywhere.
I was starting to think I might have bitten off more than I could chew by foolishly getting myself promoted out of Cat C, but mercifully, after that last kick we were afforded a brief bit of sustained recovery, brief being the operative word.
So this is kind of our only really lengthy recovery. Gotta take some fluids on board. We're already going back uphill. Well, last week, I said I was a bit disappointed. I probably should not have spoke too soon. Gotta keep this efficient, fellas. Oh, I feel sick.
You might think that this little innocuous uphill drag would be ridden easy considering what we'd already had to contend with and what was still to come, but this was obviously a strong group and people were pushing up it, and nobody looked in danger of getting dropped. Everyone really wanted it today.
Alright, another test done. Oh my god.
Another test completed, but there were still 8 to go, which even in reflection is a little bit mind-boggling.
Oh, my legs are on fire. These constant punchy repeats. It's just a different kind of pain.
There's a real difference between long sustained threshold efforts and these deep red short efforts. One is not harder than the other, they're just different. On paper, I'm probably a bit better at these shorter efforts than the long ones, but in the moment, they suck. and it was time for another one.
Oh man, God, people are going. They're still going.
One of the biggest differences I'm noticing between Cat C and Cat B is that when people kick, it's harder and for longer, and this one was violent. The peloton got strung out massively behind us, but apart from 1 or 2 riders, everyone stayed on, and we grouped back together, ready for our 4 trips around the castle circuit. It's not the hardest circuit, but in the wider context of the route, it hurts a lot, and I was basically bouncing off the limiter even before the first lap, and I really didn't know if I'd make it around all 4 times.
I don't know how many more I can do, guys. I'm really hurting. Can't breathe. This is a different level.
This really felt like just that, a different level, but I had no choice in the matter. I had to keep going.
Gotta last longer. There's still like 50 people here. 60 people here or something.
The strategy for me for these laps was simple, and I don't know if this is right or wrong, but I wanted to try to get over the climb in the front third to maximise recovery, spend a few more watts on the punch, but then recover in zone 1 and zone 2 for 10 to 30 seconds longer than people who went over in the back. That's what always feels better for me. Go hard, rest, go hard again. But min-maxing my strategy or not, I was in the struggle.
I had delusions at the start of this race. I didn't look who was in the pen, but I thought somehow maybe I can pull off like a top 10, top 20, stay connected. There's no way. I'm dying.
To pull back the curtain a little bit, to make these videos, I make a transcript of the live race and then say what I'm saying now around it. For the next 4 or 5 minutes, all I was able to say is "oh my god" 4 times and "I feel sick" once, which for anyone that's watched before will know that for me, that is a concerning lack of speech. But I was able to stay connected over the second lap and the third one.
I can barely talk, guys. I'm on my limit. I've been on my limit for 20 minutes.
3 circuits down and our group was still somewhere between 40 to 50 riders. A lot of people game for the fight.
Maybe people will attack on this one or the next one.
This had been ridden hard, but I was expecting that at some point it would get even harder. I needed to make sure I wasn't caught behind any splits, and as we rolled into the 4th punch, we had a guy rolling off the front.
We got a guy going. Not my job to close that.
With someone already off the front, people set out to chase, and perhaps foolishly, I went to follow their wheels. The peloton was lined out behind, but this was a big dig, and when nobody looked to push the pace, the blob coming back together was inevitable.
It's gonna come back together. I wasted energy there. Oh, it was a big waste.
And it did all come back together, but still, this was what I'm classing as my first real Cat B race, and I was still with the front group with only 2 more tests before the final climb, and this last punch was steep. It's a short punch, but a violent one, and as I rose up through the group and the climb flattened, people decided to let the wheel go, which left me and my German friend dangling off the front, but I knew this was a fool's errand.
I'm not pushing on.
Not ideal, to say the least. There was no way I could hold off a peloton of over 40 riders up the long drag into Sgurr, which meant I'd need to spike power again to stay connected as the group charged past.
That sucked. Oh, that cost me massively.
In reflection, I don't know how much that really cost me over other people, but at the time, it felt catastrophic.
I'm dead.
Less than 2 kilometers to go and I felt completely cooked, and the real challenge of the day, the second time up Sgurr, was still to come.
I think I made the right decision dropping, but having to spike power to get back on was horrible. My voice is going. My legs are going too.
It's been a while since I've started to lose my voice in one of these races, which is maybe a sign that I've not been pushing hard enough. But leading into Sgurr, I really didn't know if I'd have anything left for it. And I didn't even notice that people were finally starting to get shelled out of the back of the peloton.
I have nothing for this last climb.
And that's what it felt like. My legs were dead. My lungs were on fire, and mentally I was close to cracking. But we can't go out like that, so I had no choice but to suck in as much air as I could and see if I could go to the well just one more time at the foot of Sgurr. And if you're going to race this route yourself, you must punch hard once you get to the bridge.
I'm empty.
I could tell from how my legs felt I wouldn't be able to push out huge watts on this climb, and I was fighting for the minor places at best. I had to ride this defensively, punch the first part, draft the middle, and then do whatever I could on the final few hundred meters.
Oh my God. Yeah. That was everything. That was everything. Oh my God. Guys. Oh, my legs hurt so much. Yeah. Ah. God, I'm sick. Ah.
That might have actually been, truthfully, my hardest Zwift race yet, but it was fun, and I'm more than pleased with the result.
Even my best. That hurt so much. As always, I really appreciate you guys watching. If you could like, comment, or subscribe, I'd appreciate that a lot too. I'll see you back here next week. Thanks a lot.